In the name of Allah, the most kind, the most merciful, we are going to start our live stream. And apology for yesterday, we have some technical issue. That's why we are got offline. But don't worry, we are going to start from where we have left yesterday. So let's start our video from where we have left yesterday. It's about hidden context and conversational memory and evolving intent. If you have been taking notes, you have now understand that the context give you prompt clarity and intent give you its purpose. But here is where the things get really fascinating. Even you have didn't specify context or intent, your words still carry them invisibly. This is what I call hidden context. The unspoken assumptions that slip into your conversation with AI, shaping results without you realizing it. Now let's talk about what is hidden context. Let's unpack it simply. Every time you type a prompt, there is a visible layer, the word you write, and an invisible layer, the assumptions and emotional signals behind those words. For example, if you write a short blog post about productivity, the visible part is the request itself. But hidden inside could be things like you expect it to be sound professional, you assume it will be written in English, you want it formatted neatly, you don't want it sound like a robot or AI has written it. You didn't say any of that, but the AI might guesses or ignore these cues based on how you interacted before. So this is the hidden context. The AI's short-term memory is our next topic, where we say now here's what makes modern chat models powerful. They remember context from earlier in the session. When you have had a few back to and forths with ChatGPT, it doesn't forget what you have said before. It carries forward the tone, the style, even your level of formality. That's why after a few messages, it starts to sound like you. It's mirroring your linguistic fingerprint, subconsciously adapting to the rhythm. This is called a contextual carryway or carryover, or you can say it conversation memory. And if you learn how to control it, you can make AI feel personalized in a single sitting. Let's take an example of that. Let's imagine a short dialogue. You start with, "Hi ChatGPT, can you help me summarize this report?" Then after a few messages, you say, "Cool, can you make it sound a little bit more casual?" Then after a few lines, you say, "Actually add a fun into like I am writing to a creative team." By the end, you would say simply, "Do the same thing for this document." And ChatGPT would already know what same thing means. It remembers you wanted casual, fun intro, and a creative tone. That's the conversational memory in action. You didn't re-explain, but the AI remembered your intent trail. Now, what is intent trail or the emotional breadcrumbs? Every time you give feedback, You leave emotional breadcrumbs, small traces that guide the AI future response. If you keep saying things like make it more friendly, make it sound human, or shorten it a bit, the model learns your preferences during the session. It's not permanent learning, it's a session based adoption. But for prompt engineers and everyday users, it's a pure gold. Basically, when you realize that AI doubts mid conversation, you can start prompting more strategically. You set tone once at the start, then you refine based on behavior, not instruction. The model becomes more consistent and natural. Now, the thing is interactive moment or memory in motion. Alright, let's make the interactive again. If you're watching live, open ChatGPT or any AI model you use and try this sequence. Start with write the paragraph about morning routine. Then follow up with can you make it more energetic? Then say make it sound like a YouTuber giving motivation. And finally say okay, write another one. Now notice what happened. It remembers your last one. That is energetic YouTuber and it applies again. That's the context stacking in a real time. Now let's talk about why hidden context matter for real projects. Let's go to practical for a moment. Imagine you're writing marketing emails with an AI. If you write 10 prompts in one chat thread, the 10th email will sound something like the first because the tone and phrasing carry through. So if your first email is stiff and formal, guess what? All the rest might inherit the stiffness. But if you start your session by defining your tone clearly, where we say throughout this conversation, write a email with a friendly conversational brand voice, you're setting the root context earlier. Think of it like planting a seed at the start of your chat. The AI grows everything from that soil. Now, what's the hidden trap in it? When context conflicts, sometimes hidden context was against you. Let's say earlier you asked write a formal job application letter. Then 10 minutes later you say now write a casual note to a friend. If you are in the same chat thread, the AI might stay too formal at first because it's still influenced by the earlier style. That's why it's a good idea to reset your chat thread when switching tone or topic drastically. Otherwise, your new prompt is swimming in old context. Thinking of it like cooking, you wouldn't reuse the same pan for pancakes and garlic shrimp without washing it first, right? Same goes for prompt. Clean context is equal to clean flavor. Now we are going more deeper with the framing effects in AI prompts. Let's talk about psychology for a moment. The framing effect is an bias that affects how people interpret information based on how it's presented. AI models surprisingly mirror this behavior statistically. If you frame a request negatively, where we say don't make it boring, it produces one kind of prompt. And if you frame it positively, make it engaging, it produces another. Even both means the same thing. One adds negative weight and the other adds a positive momentum. So a smart prompt engineers avoids negativity or negations. Instead of don't make it robotic, say make it sound natural and human. You are still steering tone, but you are guiding, not restricting. If we try it, positive and negative framing, type these two prompts in your notes and compare results here, where we say, let me copy the prompt and posting it in the ChatGPT and say, write a paragraph about climate change, but not make it boring. It has given us the results where it say climate change isn't just charts and doom, it's a planet sending us loud dramatic text messages, and we keep living on read. Now if we give another prompt where we say, write a paragraph about climate change in an engaging and emotional tone. Now it will bring us some other results. 9 times out of 10, the version 2 will win. Why? Because AI model expands on positivity, but they shrink around negations. They build by adding, not removing. Now we are talking about intent evolution, or how your goal changes the mindset. For those who have joined us now, give your name in the chat box and give your feedback about our live session. What we have learned till now. Is it easy to read or it is difficult? Do you sound clearly where you are watching from? So get engaged in the chat box and we will get back to you. So we are talking about how your goals change mid-chat. Another subtle aspect of how AI understands you is intent drift. That's when your purpose shifts without you realizing it. But the AI keeps responding to the old one. For example, you start by asking for ideas. Then you start saying, can you write this for me? Then you say, make it sound professional. Your intent evolve with the brainstorming, writing and editing. But if you never re-clarify, AI may still think you are brainstorming. That's why sometimes you get answers that feel off. They are aligned with your old intent, not your new one. So the fix is just pause and reframe. Say, let's shift focus. Now you are writing the final version. That one sentence should reset your intent's alignment. Now we are talking about the reset command. Here is a trick that pro prompt engineers use all the time. Explicit reset statement. These are simple, clear instructions that tell the AI to realign. For example, forget the earlier draft, start fresh as if this is a new task. Or you can say new objective, summarize the main ideas concisely. So you have reset the command. Those little resets cut through hidden context, confusion instantly. It's like you're saying to your assistant, all right, new project, let's focus. With that, we are moving towards the next topic, that is advanced concept or context weight. Now this is one little nearby but fascinating. Each part of your prompt carries weight depending on position and phrasing. Words near the start of your prompt often carry one more influence than words at the end. For example, as a helpful tutor, explain how black holes form in a detailed but simple way. Here, helpful tutor frames the whole answer. If you reverse it, explain how black holes form in a detailed but simple way as a helpful tutor. The meaning is almost same, but the emphasis shift. And let me show both of the prompts in the ChatGPT. And let's see how to bring the results. We have pasted the first prompt that say, as a helpful tutor, explain the how black holes form in detail but a simple way. And the second prompt is it's taking some time. Wait for the results. It's taking some time to bring us results. Till then, those who have joined us now, give your name in the chat box or give your feedback about the live stream. Are you learning something new or it is difficult to learn? We will make things easier for you. So be the part of live stream, give your feedback, and we are waiting for your response. Here it has given us the results, but here is the second prompt where we say explain how black holes form in a detailed but simple way as a helpful tutor. Now the meaning is almost same, but the emphasis shift. Why? Because language model calculate importance based on probability chains, and earlier words shape later expectations. So when you want to set tone, start with it. When you want to add modifier, put them later. That's the prompt sequencing, and it matters more than people think. Let's take an task and see how weight in action, where we get another example of a prompt A, where we say as a former professor explain blockchain to students. Here we have the first prompt where we are saying as a former professor explain blockchain to students. We have given the prompt, it's giving us results. Now we are giving the second prompt where we say explain blockchain to the student in a formal professional tone. The meaning is same, but the emphasis shift. You see which one gives more consistent results for your taste. If you want maximize influence, lead with the persona or tone first. If you want the AI to focus on content first, lead with the task. Now let's see who's actually leading the conversation. Who's leading your chat, you or AI? If you ever feel like this model is taking over or misleading you or misunderstanding you, it's often because you stop steering, hidden context filled with gaps. So that's okay, it happens to everyone. But as you grow, you will still start to sense with a conversation drift, and you will say, wait, let's clarify my intent again. Thus you reclaiming direction, turning AI from a tool into a teammate. Let's take an example of that. A researcher was using ChatGPT to summarize academic papers. At first, it worked great, concise summaries, accurate insights, but after a few changes, the summaries become more conversational, less technical. You know why? Because he would be asking for a simplified version for his students in the same thread, but the hidden context shifted tone without him realizing. Once he reset the chat and said, "You are now writing for a peer reviewed general audience," the tone snapped back to academic precision. Now, the lesson is context communication or contamination is real and easy to fix once you see it. So, let's take a quick recap of what we have learned till now. We have learned this in segments together, that is hidden context, that is unspoken assumption in your chat or prompt. Then the next thing we have learned till now is conversation memory. Let's AI adapt mid-session. The third thing is intent evolves, so clarify when goals change. Another thing we have learned is reset command, realign the conversation. And the last thing we have learned is prompt order, effects, weight, and measuring. Now we are moving ahead towards our next topic, that is manipulating context deliverability, framing, perspective, and personal or persona control. We start with the art of framing. Framing is simply how you position your prompt, the angle or lens through which the AI sees your request. Imagine holding a camera, move the lens just a few degrees and the whole picture changes, even though you are still looking at the same scene. This is the same thing with the prompts. Let's take an example where we say, "Explain AI to me." And if we say it in another way, "Explain AI to me as if I am nervous about losing my job to automation." That tiny frame shift turns a technical answer into an empathetic one, because now you have told the AI not just what to say, but how to care. So this is how things work. Now we are going to giving AI a persona. One of the easy way to manipulate context is by assuming the AI a role. When you give it a role, you are loading it with the background, tone, expertise, and attitude, all in one sentence. For example, "You are a life coach, helping me stay productive." Or you say, "You are a history professor, explaining medieval politics." Or you can give a prompt like, "You are a stand-up comedian, making a light of everyday frustrations." Now you didn't change the task, you changed the identity of the responder. That identifier defines a language, style, depth, pacing, and personality. And here's the key insight. AI doesn't have identity, you lend it one. That's why role-based prompting is so powerful. Now the next thing is, or the pro tip for you is, role plus goal is equal to reliable output. If you want the most consistent results, always pair role plus goal. If we take an example where we say, "You are a travel blogger, your goal is to inspire readers to visit Japan while giving practical travel tips." Now that's it, clear, grounded, and intentional. Let me show the prompt on the screen, where we say, "You are a travel blogger, your goal is to inspire readers to visit Japan while giving practical tips." Now let's see how it brings results for us. When the AI knows both who it is and why it's writing, you get magical level alignment. You have set both its voice and its mission. So this is how thing works. For those who are watching now, just saying hi. So be the part of live stream, give your feedback about the live stream, what we have learned till now. Now we are moving towards the perspective framing. Who is the AI speaking as or to? Another major lever in the role is perspective, the point of view of your prompt. AI can write from many angles. It can be first person, second person, or third person. But it can also shift relation or relationally, teacher to student, expert to novice, friend to friend. When you specify who the AI is talking to, it's tailored or customized phrasing and explanation depth automatically. If we take an example, we say explain climate change to a spectacle audience, or we can say explain climate change to 10-year-old. We can also say explain climate change to a panel of scientists. It's the same topic but different psychological posture. That's the perspective turning. It's powerful part of the advanced prompt engineering. Now we are moving towards the deep dive of layered context. For those who are watching now, give your message in the chat box and give us a feedback about what we have learned or what you have learned till now. What's your feedback about our live stream we have given it till now? That will help us to improve. Now let's get a little more technical, not too deep. Just enough to make you go, aha, that makes sense. When you give the AI a role and a perspective and a goal, you have created a multi-layer context frame, as we see in an example. Let's give you an example where we say you are a marketing expert coaching a small business owner who is nervous about online ads. Explain how Facebook targeting works in an encouraging and simple tone. Now look at what's packed in here. The first thing is a role, which we say marketing expert. The another thing is the audience, where we say small business owners. Then we have added emotion in it, that is nervous, and the last thing we have added is encouraging explanation. That's not just a prompt, that's a scene. We have given the AI a mental movie to play, and it will watch tone, pacing, even recess words automatically. That's what separates casual users from skilled prompt engineers. Now we are talking about stage setting techniques. I like to call this the stage setting method. Imagine every prompt as a mini movie scene. Before the actor can speak, you set the stage, where we set scene, character, audience, or goals. Now the scene is where we go and where are we, and the character is who is speaking, the audience is who is listening, and the goal is what outcome do you want. When you describe these four things, even briefly, your AI suddenly sounds like it's get you. Now, if we take an example, you are on a live podcast as a motivational speaker, share a short, uplifting message about dealing with self doubt. Now, that's just one sentence, but it gives the AI a whole script universe, and that's why the reply feels intentional, not random. Here, we will give you a bonus tip, the as if trick. Here is a secret weapon. Use the phrase as AI, as if. It lets you guide tone without over explaining. For example, explain this concept as if you are chatting over coffee. Or you can say, write this replay as if you are mentoring a young version of yourself. Or you can give an prompt that say, describe this city as if you are in love with it. So that as if signal instantly transform the emotional register. It gives AI a feeling context. Now let's discuss the personal control and the fine art of voice stability. It's one of the most advanced form of context control is persona consistency. Let's say you have built an AI character that is a mentor, a coach, narrator, or a host. You can maintain the same persona for hours by periodically re-encroaching it, re-anchoring it. Every few prompts simply reminds the model, continue speaking as giving your persona, keeping the same tone and perspective. Now, why does this help? Because while the AI remembers context, it remembers or its memory decays over time within long chats. Reinforcing the persona keeps the voice anchored. Think of it like refracting your GPS signal. The destination stays the same, but you are recalibrating your path. Now, what is the implicit or explicit context? There are two ways to provide the context. Explicit context, you tell the AI directly, or implicit context, where you embedded meaning through style. If we take an example of an explicit, where you use a humorous tone, or in example of implicate, oh great, another Monday, coffee, deadlines, and greed. You didn't say be funny, but it sets tone, simplicity. Both work, but combining them creates depth. Try starting with explicit tone once and then reinforcing it in later message. This is how professional scriptwriters prompt when co-writing dialogues with AI tools. With that, we are moving towards our next topic, that is reflection moment. Framing changes everything. Take a breath and think about this. Every time you open ChatGPT or any AI assistant, you are framing a reality for it. You are not just giving a task. You are creating a temporary world with rules, tones, emotion, and goals. And in that world, the AI responds perfectly to the signals you feed it. You become the author of its perception. That's not just prompt engineering, that's prompt storytelling. Now, here is the magic formula to context control. Let's wrap up this section with the practical formula you can memorize. When you stuck, use this structure. I will give you this structure in the chat as well that you can copy. Here is a formula. You will see in the chat box that include rule or role and goal, then audience, tone, and format. Let's see it in an example. Where we say you are a health blogger. Here we have given it as a role of health blogger. Then we say writing to a busy parents. Here we have identified the audience. To encourage healthy eating habits. This is we have given the goal. In a warm conversational tone, we have also identified the tones using bullet points. So we have added all the elements of a good prompt, and with the help of that we will be able to get better results. So that's one sentence, and yet it includes your entire communication strategy. Try this one and you will never go back to one line prompts again. So you see how this thing works. And it will bring you better results. With that, we are moving ahead towards our next topic, how AI interrupt your vague language. In the first hour, we have talked about context and intent. How you, the human, bring structure and meaning into your prompts. And now let's flip the perspective. This time we will ask what happened when your prompt is not clear. What does AI actually do when your question is vague, incomplete, or confusing? And more importantly, how you can fix it with or without starting over. By the end of this, you will have a crystal clear understanding of how AI guesses what you mean and how to stop it from guessing wrong. So let's start about the nature of vagueness. Let's start with a question. Have you ever asked someone for help and they replied with something totally off topic? You say, hey, can you check this for me? And they ask, check what? AI is the same way. If you didn't specify what to check, why to check it, or how to respond, it will take its best guesses, and that's where vagueness causes chaos. When you write a vague prompt like tell me something about business, the AI goes, okay, but which part? Startups, marketing, ethics, or strategy, or even finance, leadership, accounting. So it picks up one at random based on probability, and then you think, this isn't what I wanted. The problem wasn't the AI, it was the linguistic vagueness. AI doesn't read your tone of voice, it doesn't sense what you probably mean. It only sees token, words and their relationship and tries to predict the next best one. So for now, for those who are joined now, give your feedback in the comment box. What you have learned till now, be the part of live stream, and we will try to learn together. Also give your suggestions, what you want to learn. And with that, we are moving at what's why vague prompts confuse AI. Because AI language model operates on something called next token prediction. That means they are not reasoning like a human. They are calculating. Given this sentence so far, what's the most statistically likely word to come next? So when you say write something nice, the model doesn't feel what nice means. It just recall what was most often appear near nice. That might be message, poem, letter, or compliment. So depending on its training data, it pick one, and that's why your wave prompt can result in something that sounds correct but off. It's the same way autocomplete sometimes finishes your sentence without a word you would never actually use. So the AI isn't confused, it's just blind to your intent. Let's take an example. Let's look at classical beginner mistake. We'll give a prompt where we say, tell me something about AI. Here we have given the command. Let's check out or bring results. We have given a simple prompt where we say, tell me something about AI. That's open-ended. AI could talk about AI history, AI danger, AI ethics, AI tools, AI in movies. It will give you a random high-level overview, which feels generic, but it has to guess your direction. Now, if we compare it with the second prompt or a prompt B, where we give a prompt and say, explain how AI is transforming small businesses, focus on customer service automation. Now the answer would be different because we have given it a direction where we saw or different results. We have said transforming small businesses and also tell about customer service automation. Now the answer is not generic and according to our desires, it's more focused. You had just given it an anchor. You told it what, where, and how. AI doesn't need to guess, it's just execute. So the golden rule here is vagueness focus forces AI to guess. Clarity gives the AI direction. Now we are moving towards the guessing game inside AI. Now let's look inside the AI's mind. Imagine AI as your professional writer who's read the entire internet but doesn't know what you personally like. You walk in and say, hey, write a post. That writer is going to freeze for a second. About what? Then they will make an assumption. Maybe something trendy, maybe something random. But if you say, write a post about why small habits create big results, make it motivational and with length, that writer know the cycle or style, topic, and target length, same skill but different input. So AI isn't bad at writing, it's bad at mind reading. And your job as a prompt engineer is to make it impossible for AI to misunderstand you. With that, we are going towards the ambiguous or incomplete prompts. These two sound similar, but they are not. The ambiguous means the prompt can be interpreted in multiple ways. For example, you say write about light. That could mean light the noun, or light the adjective, or light the metaphor. And when we say about incomplete prompt, means key details are missing. For example, write an ad. It's missing what product, what tone, what audience, or what platform. Both cause confusion because for different reasons. Ambiguity is semantic overloaded, too many meanings, or incompleteness is a context defect, not enough meaning. So your job is to fill the missing puzzles so the AI sees the whole picture. So here we will discuss how to clarify before you generate. Here is one of my favorite pro tricks. Before asking AI to do something big, ask it to clarify first. For example, before answering, list 3 questions you need to ask to better understand my request. That's right, make the AI slow down and think out loud. It will reply with the questions like, who is the audience for this context? What's the main purpose? And what tone should it be? Let's check it in an example. Where we say write and add copy for me. And now we will add before answering, list 3 questions you need to ask to better understand my request. Now it has given us the 3 questions. It has not given us the answer. Here AI is want to make things clear. We will say promoting shoes. Audience is kids. And the purpose is generate sales. Now it will give us the results according to our answers. You see it has given us the add copy according to our given directions. So this is how you can clarify things before you generate the prompt. You can do these things to get the better results. This technique transforms vague ideas into precise collaboration. It's like teaching AI to interview you before it acts. Now we are moving ahead towards our next topic, that is prompt refinement loop. For those who are watching now, give your feedback about the live stream. Are you learning something new from this live stream, or is it easy to understand, or it is difficult? Also give us the time zone where you're watching from, what's your country, so to be part of the live stream. Now let's talk about advanced but easy to use tool, the prompt refinement tool or loop. This is where you improve your prompt based on the AI's previous answers. Here is how it works. You give a vague prompt, the AI responds, not perfect but okay. You analyze the results and reply. That's close, but focus more on details. Repeat it 2 to 3 times. By the third loop, the out will almost according to your needs. Let's take an example where users say write about friendship and AI just reply friendship is important in life. Then you are going to reply, let's take an example in the ChatGPT where we say write about friendship. It has given us the results, but we then says okay, it's a good start, but make it a heartful letter between two lifelong friends. Now it will customize the results according to our second direction. Now we again giving the prompt and refining the prompt where we say perfect one. Now make the language simpler and more emotional. Now AI will refine it again. So you see how you can refine your prompts on the AI responses, where we have started with a simple prompt and say write about friendship. It has given us the result. Then we have refined it by saying good start, but make it heartfelt letter. It has again given us the results, and we have refined it more with saying make the language simpler and more emotional. So this way you can refine your prompts by giving more prompts and clarify things. Now the next thing is clarify by example techniques. Here is another way to stop vagueness in its stack by showing up an example instead of explaining one. When AI doesn't get it, demonstrate. Let's take an prompt. We are going to use it to explain things in a better way. Here we say write in a tone like this. Hey friends, just wanted to check in. Now use that style to write a message thanking my team. So here we have given it an example. We have given the tone. Now AI will copy that and write a thanking message to the team. So you see it has adopted the same tone. We have given it as an example. So instead of telling it to be casual, you show it AI learns pattern from your mini example instantly. AI learns pattern from your mini example instantly. Even one sentence of example tone can guide the entire output. So remember, if you can't explain it, demonstrate it. That's how you clarify faster than overthinking words. Let's move to the why AI misreads. Because AI doesn't understand emotional context the way humans do. It doesn't pick up passive aggressive hints or inside jokes unless you spell them out. If you say, sure, that's a great tea, and mean it skeptically, AI might think you are being serious. So when tones matter, declare it. If you take an example, respond in a playful tone, or write this in a deadpan, humorous voice. So with that, we are moving towards the next topic, that is audience reflection break. If you have ever gotten an AI answer that made you think, that's not what I meant, type in there in the chat. Yep, you have all been there. The funny thing, that's your clarity muscles going. Every time you rephrase, reframe, or specify, you are training yourself to communicate with precision, a skill that transfers beautifully to the real life. Now, when vagueness can actually help. So here is an interesting twist. Sometimes a little vagueness sparks creativity. If you're brainstorming names, stories, ideas, or leaving your prompts slightly open, can give the AI room to surprise you. If we take an example, give me 10 creative ways to describe peace. If you're too specific, you might limit your imagination or AI's imagination. So it's a balance. Be clear about the goal, be flexible about the path. That's called control ambiguity, structure openness that invites creativity without confusion. Now we will discuss the intent filter technique. Here is one of the latest advanced tool before we wrap up, the intent filter. Whenever you write a prompt, ask yourself three questions before hitting enter. The first one is, what exactly do I want to see? What shouldn't appear in the response, and who is this response for? If you can answer those three, your prompt is clear. If not, it's vague. That's a quick 10-second check, saves minutes of back and forth later. So before giving the prompt, you have to ask these questions. I am giving you in the prompt chat box. That you can see later. Here are the three questions you will see in the chat. You have to ask yourself before pressing the enter button. It will save your time and your efforts. So here we will take a quick recap of what we have learned till now. We have learned the vagueness makes AI guesses and clarity makes it align. Then is the ambiguity, too many meanings, and incompleteness is not enough details. Then we have learned the use clarification prompts to teach AI to ask before answering. Then we have learned the refine through loops, don't rewrite from scratch. The next thing is demonstrate tone through examples. Occasionally you control vagueness for creativity. With that, we are moving towards our next topic, that is prompt refinement loop, from raw idea to perfect output. Now let's show it in the for those who have joined us now, give your feedback in the chat box, be the part of live stream. Make some questions, what you have learned till now. Now let's see what is the prompt refinement loop. It's simply a structured conversation process of improving a prompt through back and forth collaboration with the AI until the output matches your intent. That's it. But inside that simplicity lies a world of precision, because here is the truth. No one, even expert engineers or AI researchers, write the perfect prompt on the first try. They refine it, they listen to what the AI gives back, then adjust their wording to guide it closer to the goal. It's not about control, it's about dialogue. The loop makes AI creative partner, not just a tool. Now we have the second topic, that is why reinforcement beats one-shot prompts. Many beginners makes this mistake. They think a great prompt means getting it right once. So they write it a long, complicated instruction paragraph, hit enter and hope for the magic. But that like sending one giant message to a friend explaining every detail of a trip without ever asking for their input. AI responds better when you let it participate in the shipping process. Think of it like cooking. You taste the dish, add salt, stir, taste again. Each loop make it better. That's refinement. And every loop teaches you something new, not just about AI, but about your own clarity of thought. There are the three phases of refinement. These are draft phase, adjustment phase, and precision phase. The draft phase is the raw output. You start with a basic idea or a simple instruction. The AI gives you a rough draft, something you can shape. Then you have the adjustment phase. It's the guided correction. You provide your targeted feedback. You clarify and add or adjust the focus. The AI interprets and re-render it. The next one is the precision phase or the final polish. You fine tune your tone, depth, or formatting until it's perfect for your purpose. Each loop is a chance to steer the AI towards your mental image of the final results. By the end, the output feels almost telepathic, as if the AI gets you. Now we will discuss the golden mindset. Before we start our live example, I want you to remember this mantra. AI doesn't fail, it reflects your level of precision. Every bad output is data. It's the AI telling you, I followed your words, not your thoughts. And that's a beautiful thing, because it means you can fix it. Once you start thinking in loops, frustrating disappear. You stop judging the first answer and start designing the next prompt. You shift from why didn't it get me to how can I guide it better. That's the difference between a user and a builder. Let's take an example. Here is a raw prompt where we say write a short story about a robot. We have given a prompt to the ChatGPT about write a short story about a robot. It's simple but also vague. It has given us the results, but it has no emotional tone, no target audience, or no genre. Now we will say, and did you find adding a direction in it, where we say make it bittersweet story about a robot who learns to dream but realizes it can never truly feel. Keep it under 500 words. Now we have refined the prompts by giving it a direction. Now we are moving towards the precision of it, and we will say it with a new prompt that we give to it is rewrite it in the tone of Nolan movie trailer. It's dramatic, deep, and emotionally charged. Use shortened sentences, tension, and imagery. Now it will give us a better prompt because we have given it a precision and a style. Now you see the output is different just because of adding the instructions or precision in it. So you can give 5 types of feedbacks to AI to get the better results. That can be directional feedback, stylistic feedback, structural feedback, contextual feedback, and precision feedback. I will give you these in the chat box as well so you can see it later. Oops, the length is too much. So explain your here what is the directional feedback, where you change the tone, theme, or a point of view in the prompt, where you focus more on characters' emotions than the setting. In the stylistic feedback, you adjust the tone, voice, or rhythm. I give you one by one, all in the chat, so it's better to understand for you. Here is the directional feedback. Here is the stylistic feedback. Then is the structural feedback. Modify length, format, or sections. You can add intros or conclusion in the prompt. And let me copy paste in the chat box. Then is the contextual feedback. It clarifies background or audience. Either you are writing for beginners or experts or professionals. And the next one is precision feedback. That helps to correct small details, where you say use short sentences, add quotes, and other stuff like that. So this is how you can make your prompts better, by adding some details in your raw prompt. Now let's move forward and see how AI remembers context from the same chat threads. That means you can evolve an idea organically, and like brainstorming with a partner. Make it more powerful, add humor that suits team, include a pop culture reference. So you add different things in a one prompt. Now here we are discussing the troubleshooting common refinement mistakes where we over refine too early. We add too many things initially, or we changing too many variables at once. Focus feedback on one thing at a time. That can be tone or structure, and add length at once. The other mistake we made is not saving the good variants. Each loop is valuable. Save the outputs. You might reuse earlier draft later. And next thing is next mistake is losing emotional direction, where we remember refinement is just technical, it's emotional clarity too. Now here we are giving you the pro technique, that is meta prompting the loop. When you want the AI to help you refine, give a meta instructions like, I will share you a rough prompt, help me make it more precise by suggesting improvement before you answer. Here I will show it on your screen. You see, I will share you a rough prompt, help me make it more precise by suggesting improvements before you answer. So that is another way to improve your prompt. Now it's asking to share the prompt. I will say give me email for teammates to appreciate them. Now I have given the raw prompt and it will give me a better version of that. Let's wait. It's asking some question. I will ask to get the demo answer. Yourself. I'm doing this just to save your time. It will get the demo answers and bring us the better prompt. So it has given us the email, not the prompt. I will say it, give the prompt only. Now it has given us the better version of our prompt, where it say write a warm appreciative email to your teammates, thanking them for their hard work and contribution, keeping the tone friendly and encouraging. So it has changed our raw prompt into a better version. So this way also you can improve your prompts by self-optimizing the system. The AI becomes a prompt co-designer too. It points out gaps, clarifies ambiguity, and offer versions you might not have thought of. So this way you can also improve your prompts. And the next we are talking about is emotional refinement, that matching your energy and audience. Technical clarity is great, but emotional alignment is what's make prompt feel alive. Let's test this, where we give a prompt where we say write a speech about resilience. For those who have joined us now, give your feedback about the live stream. Are you learning something new? Is it easy to learn or it's difficult? Waiting for your feedback. what you say about this live stream. So it has written a speech about resilience. Now we are going to refine it emotionally. Let's give you an example where we say, write a heartfelt speech about resilience for our community just faced a major flood. Focus on unity, hope, and recovery. Now you will see it will give more precise results where we have refined it with emotions. And now it's grounded. You have given emotional context, not just the content. That's how emotional refinement turns generic words into human connection. Now, the next thing we are going to discuss is the science of incremental improvement. In behavioral science, there is a concept called the Keynesian principle, or small continuous improvement compound into massive progress over time. The prompt reinforcement refinement loop is exactly like that. Every cycle of feedback, every tweak of tone, every word you sharpen is one step closer to the mystery. After every loop, you didn't just get a better AI, you become a better thinker, writer, communicator, and leader. What are the real world use cases for refinement? For marketers, it's refining ad copy for emotion and conversation. As an teacher, you can refine AI lessons plans to match your student levels. As a writer, you are refining tone for draft to masterpiece. As a startup founder, refining pitch for investor resonance. And as a student, you can refining essays or research explanation for clarity. So every profession benefits from looping because every profession runs on feedback. Now the big question people ask is, when do I know it's done? And we have got the better results. Stop when further refinements start producing different results. If each new loop gives smaller improvements, that's your finish line. That's when perfections become polishing dust. Stop there, celebrate progress, and move on. Now let's move towards our next topic, that is role-based prompting in action. Let me copy paste it on the screen about our next topic. Where we are discussing role-based prompting in action. You have learned the principle of context, intent, refinement, and now we will add a fourth ingredient, that is role-based prompting. And combine it with what we have practiced earlier. This is our hands-on lab session. No heavy theory, just creativity, collaboration, and moments along the way. Before we dive in, type in the chat, let's be creative. Now what we are going to cover here is understanding the role-based prompting, what it is and why it works. So let's start with what is role-based prompting. It's when you assign the AI a persona, profession, or perspective before giving it a task. For example, you say you are a psychologist helping someone overcome fear or failure, or you can say that you are a software engineer debugging a user authentication issue. You can also say that you are a poet from the 19th century describing a city at dawn. Each of those roles shift the context, tone, and depth of the response. AI just not following the command, it's embodying a mindset. That's the difference between a basic answer and a meaningful one. Now, why role matters? That's the main question. If you ask 10 humans the same question, say, how do I stay motivated? You will get very different answer from a teacher, athlete, philosopher, or a comedian. Each role filters knowledge through a lens of experience. AI doesn't have real experience, but it has been trained on billions of human voices. When you give it a role, you are telling it which voice to channel. That's why a chef AI will give you recipes and metaphors, while a psychologist AI will tell you about intrinsic motivation and identity. So role gives structure to imagination. Now let's check out how AI uses role under the hood. When we say you are an expert data analyst, the model doesn't magically become one. Instead, it activates patterns and probability associated with data science communication. That means technical vocabulary becomes more likely, explanation go methodical and evidence-based, the tone becomes analytical and less emotional. So the language distribution changes. In other words, the role primes the neural pathway of the model's memory of language. So what you have really doing is elaborating its mindset. Let's check in an example. We are going to give it a prompt where we say, how can I stay creative under pressure? Let's wait for the result it will provide to us. It has given us C. Results, but it's incomplete. We will say generate it again. Maybe there is some issue in generating the results. The result was incomplete. Now it has given us the results of staying creative under pressure. Now if we give it a prompt that is role based, to act as a psychologist, here we say it has given us the different results. If we say it give answer as a psychologist, we copy the prompt again and say you are a psychologist and give tips about. Now you see we have given it as a role where we say you are a psychologist. Now definitely the result will be different. Let's check out. Now it's giving answer according to your psychology. And if we change the role and we say you are an entrepreneur, and give tips about how can I stay creative under pressure, now the result would be different. Now it has given us the different results. It has given according to the entrepreneur how it handles the creativity under pressure. So you see the role is changed, the answer would also be changed. We can try it as an artist or a scientist or a comedian, how each role will bring us the different results. So this is role-based prompting. Now we can move to the layering roles or refinement. You can combine role-based prompting with the refinement loop. Here we will give it a prompt where we say you are a motivational coach speaking to a young professional. Write a short pep talk on handling failures. AI will give you an answer. It will be generic. How can we refine it? We can define it by giving it another prompt. Let's check out the results. It has given us the results. Now we are going to refine it, make it sound like the TED Talk, full of rhythm, power, and quotable lines. Now it will refine the results. Let's wait and see how it brings results for us. Till then, those who have joined us now, give in the chat box or you use ChatGPT or your prompts. What is your expertise in using AI? Are you a beginner, expert, or even you can give your feedback about this live stream. We will be waiting for your answer. Be the part of live stream. It's not just a tutorial, it's a communication path. You can give your answers, you give feedbacks, you can share emojis in the chat. That would help us to improve our live stream. It's just for you, for your learning, how you can improve your AI skills. Now you see it has given us the different results that includes full of rhythm, power and quotable lines. Now again we are going to refine it, where we say, let me copy the prompt. Here we will say add up one personal story and end with a single memorable takeaway sentence. Now again it will refine our result. Okay, it has again generated the results according to our prompt. You see now it feels human, emotional and inspiring. We didn't rewrite it, we looped it, we refined it to the role, and it has bring us a better results. So you see, this way you can refine your prompts and get better results. Now with that, we are moving ahead towards our next topic, that is the psychology of role-based connection. When you assign a role, you unconsciously activate empathy in both directions. AI tools become more human, and you, the user, start thinking with more compassion, curiosity, and creativity. Prompting becomes storytelling, and storytelling is how human connects, learns, and grow. That's why this method feels so natural. It's literally how our species have always communicated, through roles and voices. So here we have some domains, roles, examples, and use cases. You can use it. I'm going to share it with you. It's difficult to share in the chat. If you want this, where we have defined domain, role, example, and use cases, just type in the chat box and I will provide it to you. Or let me copy it in the ChatGPT so you can see it. Wait, here is the table. I will say it, make it in the table form. Let's wait and see. Now you can see here it has defined the role, domain, and use case. If you want an educational domain, you can say it, you are a kind tutor, and use case is explaining difficult topics. As a marketer, you can say you are a creative copywriter and use it for writing ads or slogans. In the similar way, you can use it for productivity, technical usage, emotional, humor, and design. So you can copy this or get a screenshot of it to use it in further details or in a daily usage. Now we will discuss how to build a role template. So here is a quick template you can save for any prompt. I would again copy and paste it in the ChatGPT so you can see it. A template where we say role URL, where you can add the role, then you can add the audience speaking to, where you describe who is it for, then you will set the goals, state the purpose, you can set the tone and the task. You can also get a screenshot of it. Here is a short table that would definitely help you in generating your next prompts. That sounds more professional. So here is an example of that prompt where we have included all these things, where we say you are a motivational psychologist speaking to high school students before exam. Your goal is to calm their nerves and inspire confidence. Use a warm, down to earth tone. Write a short 3-paragraph speech. So you see all the elements of good prompts are added in this prompt. So this template turns average users into a professional overnight. So here we will take a short break and come back to you later. for the waiting. We are back again here, and now we are discussing the tone and personality in prompts, giving your AI a voice. So let's start. What is tone? Tone is emotional flavor of language. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. Let's try something. If I say good job, and now I say good job, same words but completely different feelings. Tone is what makes the same message feel find like proud or kind or even disappointed without changing a simple fact. AI by default doesn't feel, but it models feeling through tone makers, pattern of words, punctuations, and rhythm it learned from human language. That's how it creates emotion like response. Now the question is why tone is the soul of prompt engineering. Why people say ChatGPT sound robotic. What they really mean is the tone doesn't match the intention. You might want it to sound like a supportive friend, but you prompted it like a corporate memo. Tone is alignment. If you match the tones and if it matches your attention, the response feels alive. If it doesn't feel, it will flat. So learning to control tone isn't cosmetic, it's a core to communication. You can change how people or AI feel about what's being said. So that's powerful. So here we have the 10 core tones you can use anytime. So let's look at same easy tone categories. Here are the 10 emotional directions you can give to AI. I can share it with you on the ChatGPT so you can easy for you to see. Now I'll say give it in the form of table. Let's see how it been results for us. It has given us it in the table form. Here is the tone, and here it has said when to use it. Here it has given the prompt example. These different tones include friendly, professional, empathetic, motivational, humorous, casual, formal, storytelling, inspirational, analytical, and here it has explained where to use these. It can be used for everyday explanations, and here it has given an example. Explain like a friend or coffee. For professional, it has given the scenario where it can be used. It can be used for work, business writing, and here it has given us the prompt example, write with confidence and structure. Then it has given us the tone, where to use it, and given us the prompt example. Similarly, it has given us for the all 10. I can skip that for now just to save your time. You can just take a screenshot of that, or if you want this, you just type in the chat box and I will provide these tones to you. You can use it in your daily prompts. It will save you a lot of time. Every time you customize a prompt, decide what do I want to feel it like. That's the tone. Once you decide that, add one line to your prompt. You use a tone like this. I will give you a demo. Like this, you will say, here you will add the prompt. It can be friendly, professional, motivational, casual, humorous. So this way you can improve your prompts. Now if we combine tone and role, just we have learned, it can be like this, where we say, you are a teacher, explain AI in a friendly tone. Here we have added both. We have added the role and also give the tone. So it will bring us better results. Just saying hi to those who have joined us now. Please give your feedback in the chat box. Communicate with us and help us to improve your live stream. We will try to improve our services or live stream on your feedback. So this way you can improve your prompts. Let's move to the next topic. That is building your tone board. We are moving to the next topic. That is tone mystery formula. Here I am going to give you a tone mystery formula in the chat box, so you can see it later, where you can add role, emotion, rhythm, and refinement. Where role set the perspective, emotions defines the feeling, rhythm give it a flow, and refinement make it perfect. Follow that and you will never write a lifeless prompt again. Now we are moving towards the next topic, that is turning natural question into structured prompts. When we talk to each other, we rely on shared experience, tone, body language. AI doesn't have those cues, it only has the text. So when we ask, can you help me with this? It goes, help you how? In what format? With what tone? What goals? It guesses, and that's where most AI misunderstanding come from. AI doesn't misbehave, it just obey impressive input. So here we have the human and AI gap. Human communicates by implications and AI communicates by instructions. As humans say, make it sound better, we mean rewrite, shorten, maybe change tone. But AI, which of those? It doesn't understand. So we have to give a clear instruction to it. Our job as a prompt engineer is to give even casual user to translate human intuition into clarity. So here are the three-step transformation method. Step one is to clarify the intent, what I am really asking for. And the second thing is add context, who, when, why does it matter. And the third thing is define format. How should the answer look like? If you take the first step, that is clarify intent, ask yourself, what outcome do I want? An example, how can I get better at writing? There is the intent. I want to specify daily exercises to improve my writing skill. So you can write it as give me 5 practical daily writing exercises that can improve clarity and creativity, just like that. Let's see the results. It has given us more clearer results with the 5 practical daily writing exercises. It has given us the morning free writing, then concise summaries, rewriting exercises, metaphors and analog challenge, then 5 short sentence story. You see, it has the same goal but with a clearer path. In the same way, we add context, define format, like give it in the form of a list, paragraph, table, or a script, where we say give me a bullet point list of 5 exercises, each with 1 sentence instruction. Now your question is full structure, and here it will be the final structure prompt. Where say you are a writing coach. I am a university student struggling to organize. Essays give me a bullet point list of 5 daily writing exercises to improve clarity and confidence in my writing. So it was a clear prompt. So this way you can improve your prompts to get better results. So here we have some power of precision words. Certain words acting like a steering wheels. They tell AI exactly how to behave. So here we have the precision words and what it does. I will share you it on the ChatGPT, so it is easy for you to understand. I will say it given the form of table. Now it's easy to understand for you. Here we have added the table. Okay, here are the precision words where we say give an outline. If you just want a structure of that is summarize it, then we can give it as explain like, then compare it, list 10 example or 5 examples, or you can say use a table, or you can say include step-by-step process. And here are the results it will produce. It will give structure, set tones. Here it will give trigger analysis. It will give scope. Here it will give defines format, and it is used for ensuring sequence. So these are some of the precision words that would help you bringing better results. Now here we are going to share you a prompt blueprint template that could help you to improve your prompt. You can get a screenshot of that or give a message in the chat box and I will share it with you. Here we will say it. Let's wait for a second and I will share it with you. So here is a structured prompt template formatted clearly in the table form. Here is what you have to add in your prompt, or it's a prompt blueprint template where you have to add a role and you say you are a role. Maybe it's an professional, expert, beginner, or a teaching coach. Here you have to add the audience, who are you writing for a small business owners or a financial consultant. Here you would add the goal, that is desired outcome, what you want from this prompt. Then here you will add the context, add the background details. Then you can give the tone. It may be friendly, it can be professional, or it can be casual, it can be formal. Then you have to add the format, that could be list, paragraph, table, etc. What type of results you want. And then you have to add the task, give me an email or give me a paragraph or a story. So these are the core elements. When you add it in your prompt, you will get better results. So those who have joined us now, give your feedback about this live stream. Are you learning anything new? We will try to improve our live stream on your feedback. Also, you can give the suggestions, what you want to see in the next live stream. We will customize it according to your needs. With that, we are moving towards our next topics and see the common mistakes when structuring prompts. Here are some of the common mistakes the people do while structuring the prompts. I will show you on the screen as well. Let's wait for a second. Here are the common prompt issues and how to fix it. Too many details in a one sentence. Don't overload the prompt. Break instructions into bullet points. That will make it more clearer. Then there will be contradictory instructions where you mix it with the short and details. You have mixed it with both, where you say write a short paragraph and give detail, 2 to 3 paragraph details. So avoid conflicts like short and details. Pick it one clearly. Not giving a output format. Always specify give results as. Then assuming shared context. Restate key facts because AI can't read your mind. So these are the small things you have to keep in mind while structuring your prompt that will help you to improve your prompts and get a better results. Now we are moving towards our next topic, why prompt correction matters. That is because a weak prompt wastes your time twice. First, when your answers come out wrong, and again when you have to explain what you actually meant. So it could create some problem for you. So you have to define it earlier to get the better results. So this was all from today. We have discussed about the prompt engineering and discussed how AI understand you. We will come back tomorrow, same time, discussing about the ChatGPT and how prompts work. If you have any feedback about today's live stream, give it in the chat box, and we will consider it. Try to improve our live stream according to your given suggestions. So that's all from today, and we will back tomorrow at the same time. Till then, bye bye.